Welcome to ACD Combatives. This is Coach Kurt. As you know, this is a martial arts channel as it relates to law enforcement, control tactics, combatives, but I also cover field training issues. And as a field training officer, one of my most common questions that I get from a brand new recruit is what I should use for a backup gun. I'm not a gun reviewer. I do very few videos concerning firearms, but here are my picks and ideas for what you should use for a backup gun.
All right, guys, through the remainder of this, you're not going to see my ugly face, except for my ugly chin, but I wanted to hit this angle so you could see the guns better. So, starting with the beginning of my career, again, I do not own a revolver anymore. This is a mock-up of the LCR. It's a training gun for control tactics. Generally speaking, and this is generic, any Ruger, Colt, Smith & Wesson, your Rugers make stainless steel, the security 101s or the Ruger LCRs. Any one of those guns is going to be good. The LCR is the super lightweight polymer slash, I'm not sure what metal they use. I think it's a stainless steel cylinder. If I remember off the top of my head, I will put the stats up on the screen. It's a terrific gun, super lightweight. The shortcomings of a revolver is you only get 5 rounds. Statistically speaking, you will go your entire law enforcement career without ever having to use your firearm. I used my primary firearm once in my career for self-defense. Once. And that was because some crappy shitbag meth head released 3 pit bulls on me and I was forced to shoot the lead pit bull. The other 2, thankfully, DD-mouthed, ran away. So, you go your entire career without using your gun and be blessed and thankful that that's the truth. So statistically speaking, I cannot talk. Statistically speaking, you will never need your backup gun. But Murphy's Law suggests in the Army math, 1 is none and 2 is 1, you should always have a backup gun. You may never need it, but you should have it. That's the wisdom of an FTO with 23, 24 years on the job. I highly recommend that you carry a backup. But don't just grab anything. Choose wisely. Revolver is a super safe choice. It will go bang when you pull the trigger 99.999% of the time. But then most modern semi-autos, same thing, especially Glocks, and you know I'm a Glock guy. But let's compare this to size with the Glock 26, what I'm carrying right now as a primary duty gun, backup gun. I do not carry this off duty. It's very blocky, just like the 17 is basically the Glock 17, Glock 29 that's been chopped down. And as you can see, it's pretty comparison to size and thickness with the advantage of 10 rounds. Now, why did I choose the 26 and not like the 43, which I have carried as a backup gun in the past, and the 43X, and again, I'll pop those up on the screen soon. Why didn't I choose those? Well, let's pop up the 23 or the 43 now. You can see that it's thinner. It's about the same profile, but it's thinner. It's a single stack, only 6 rounds. I chose the 26 because the 26 takes the exact same magazines as my primary duty weapon. So it's strictly a just keep it simple, stupid. Only one kind of magazine that will accept every gun that's on my person. That's combat smart. That's something you want to do. But you don't have to. Again, what did I say before? Statistically speaking, you'll never need your backup gun. That being said, read the book Onion Fields. It's a perfect example of when a police officer didn't have a backup gun and he sure wishes he had it after the fact. Won't get into the book. I did a whole breakdown of the book for the incident elsewhere on my channel. Look it up. So the 26 is what I carry now. You could get away with carrying this off duty perfectly great. For years I carried the 27, which is the 40 caliber variant. Perfectly good. And again, guys, I don't know if I said it already, but all these guns have been safely checked off camera. Nothing on my table is loaded. Now there are going to be some magazines that you see with ammunition in them, but I'm not going to cycle the slides. So, the 43, the next popular choice for a backup gun everyday carry. It comes, and this is the standard .43 magazine, 6 rounds, and this is with the pinky extension. It's not a magazine extension. It's just 6 rounds with a pinky extension. What I have in the gun is the Shield Arms 9-round magazine, and I have one right here. They're both loaded. This one here is the Shield Arms. It's steel. And you want to put in your magazine, your slide release, your magazine release button. You want to replace that with a steel one. So you have steel and steel versus steel and polymer. That's the only big difference. And you can get 9-round magazines. And then they also make 12-round, 15-round, like extensions and stuff like that. You can totally do that. But depending on what state you're in, you can't get into more. But this is 9 rounds. And that's what I have in my .43. My .43 is my everyday carry-off duty. I carry a 9-round with one in the chamber, so 10 rounds in the gun. And I usually carry 2 to 4 9-round magazines off duty, depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing. So super light, easy to have a bunch of these on duty. And or off duty. I'll compare it to the Sig P365 because that's another super popular one. But as you can see, the magazines are pretty much the same size. There's a little bit of a size difference with the Shield Arms, but not much. So you get a lot bang for your buck for the 9-round magazine. So the 43X, and this is a good example of 43X, although I have the Streamlight flashlight on it. Super good little gun. Basically, you've got the length of a Glock 19, but you have the barrel length and slide length and thickness of the standard 43. Yeah, as you can see, they're identical. In fact, you can swap them. The difference is this is a 10-round. This comes stock with a 10-round magazine. Now again, Shield Arms to the rescue. The magazine release catch is steel, and I've replaced it with 15-round magazine. So basically, I got a Glock 19 capacity gun here. This is a great off-duty gun, if that's what you choose it for. And this would be a great on-duty gun, or on-duty backup gun too, but it's a little long. Just something to take in consideration. It's a good gun. A lot of people are carrying these for backup guns or off-duty. A lot of people are still carrying the 43. This is like I said, my everyday carry off-duty. The only reason I don't carry the 26 off-duty is because it's thicker. Again, I think I already did the comparison. It's just thicker. It's hard to see in video, but you can definitely tell the difference in real life. And one thing I do with all my guns is I swap out better sights than they come with. You can see everything is a big dot, either the XS or some variation of that. Now, here's the one that a lot of people love, the Sig P365. I still swap this in as an off-duty carry sometimes. Now, and I've got the SX big dot sights on this one. It comes right out of the box. Out of all the guns on this table, the Sig P365 is like the best. Comes with everything you need, and you don't have to do anything with it. It comes with 10-round magazines. You can get 12 rounds and 15 rounds. Here's a 15-round. So a lot of times I'll carry this with a 10-round magazine in it, one in the chamber, so there's 11 rounds, and I'll carry 2 15 rounds. And like if I'm going someplace where I won't even go lighter than the 43, and they're almost identical in size and weight. But guys, I'm a Glock guy. So I have carry the 43 most of the time. Now, there's people that I've heard that used to carry the P365 and they got rid of it because they were Glock people as well and went back to the 43. I didn't go back to the 43 because it was a Glock. It's just, well, I guess I did. I guess I went back to the Glock 43 just because it was a Glock. But not because, there's an angle of, pointing angle different, it handles different, it feels a little different. Guys, your fundamentals should be solid that you should be able to pick up any gun. I can pick up this gun, shoot just as well as the 43. Now, the 43, in my opinion, is a softer shooting gun. That's my opinion. The Sig P365 is a little snappier. But, man, it's like, I think Sig sold their soul to Satan to come up with this gun, to get 10 rounds into this magazine. They literally made the perfect magazine, basically a Shield's Arm magazine, but by Sig. for the P365, built a gun around the magazine. It was genius. And now you've got the Hellcat, and there's other 10 to 11 to 12 round magazine guns. I mean, it's like it's all the vogue. It's super easy to get. To make the 43 as good, you're going to have to get your own off-duty, your own sights. Again, the P365 comes with perfectly good night sights. I only chose to upgrade it with the XS Big Dots because I just love these sights so much. That's the only thing I've done to that gun. The 43, which I carried, knowing that I was going to dump more money into it, guys, I put the XS Big Dot sight, or some variation. Those actually are not XS Big Dots, but super nice, big, bright front sight. Plus, I had to change the magazine release button to metal to match the Sig Arms, or I'm sorry, not Sig Arms, Shield Arm magazines. So to get this to where I wanted it to be, I had to dump more money into it. You can totally carry it out of the box, 6-round magazines, but it seems a little light. These are all 9mm now. The one that is the oddball out, and yes, I carried it for a while as a backup gun on duty. Not this particular one. This is the LCP Max, which is a 10-round magazine. It's the Ruger. I actually traded in my Glock 42 for this because, guys, I sincerely believe this is a better gun than the Glock 42. The Glock 42 is 380. This is a 380. Again, I would never carry anything less than a 380. I prefer carrying 9mm. I have this 380 because you got to have at least one 380, right? Carried this as a backup gun, the regular LCP anyway, for years. And it's so smooth. This is a true pocket gun. Even the the LCP Max, how they managed to keep it almost identical in width is just crazy. It's just, guys, if you haven't put the LCP Max versus the regular LCP 2 in your hands, you'll be surprised. And here's a 12-round magazine, 10 round. Guys, if you don't care that it's not a 9mm, this is just a terrific little backup gun. Would highly recommend this gun if you're into a 380. Again, I prefer having nothing less than the same caliber I carry as my primary gun, and that's 9mm. But if you're going to go to battle, and you know you're going to battle, bring a rifle, right? We already discussed that in other videos. And again, this is not a gun channel. This is a martial arts control tactics channel, generally speaking, but it's also an FTEP channel. And this is why I address this. Is just, I get this question so much from my new trainees. But to go back to what I carry right now is my backup gun, my Bug Glock 26. And like I said previously, man, you just can't, I carry this in my outer vest. It's a zipper outer vest, so it's just right there. I can zip it down and get to it. So the extra thickness doesn't really bother me. The combat, practical, tactical aspect of carrying it is that it takes the exact same magazines as my primary gun. Now they're going to stick out a little further, so you got to be careful not to push with your pinky because you can disrupt the round from chambering, and then you'll have it will not cycle well. So when I fire this thing in practice, see how I got my pinky out? I don't do that normally with my normal weapons. I do that so I'm not pushing pressure down on this magazine. That's just a conscious training thing I do for that reason with this pistol. Guys, that's why I carry this. But off duty, 90% of the time, I carry the 43. And maybe 10% of the time, I carry the Sig P365. Just love this gun. Just a neat gun. But I'm such a Glock guy for so many years, including being a Glock armor, which is super easy to do, guys. It's an 8-hour class. I just know and shoot Glocks so often that I just gravitated back to the 43. But, again, the big difference is I had to add love to this to get it to where I wanted it to be with this Shield Arms magazines and the better backup sights. That's the kind of crap I had to do to it to get where I wanted it. Did I have to? No. It's just, if you're going to go to a gunfight, you want to go with as much gun as possible. I mean, rounds as you can comfortably carry off duty without being tactical silly. Alright, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Please maybe comment what kind of gun you like for your everyday carry or backup gun. Tell me if any of these guns are the ones you chose to carry, or if you have any more questions about one. This is not me pushing one over the other. It's just me explaining them. I have other guns, but these are the small everyday carry backup gun types that are important. It's not important for me to show you duty weapons because that's going to be something your agency likely will issue you a duty weapon, or they have a list of weapons that are approved. So I carry the 17 because that's what is issued. I'm not even allowed to carry my own personal weapon on duty as a regular standard sidearm. If I had to choose, if I had the opportunity to choose my own sidearm, I'd go with the Glock 45 instead of the Glock 17. But it's semantics, guys. I shoot that 17. It's a Gen 5 17. I shoot it super well. Anyway, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell icon, and everybody take care. Stay safe.